just went for coffee.
It's not, they're getting old.
I know, but it's okay because we're all pathetic together.
Exactly.
I am such a pathetic loser. I don't even care. I'm a pathetic loser. I don't even care. Yeah, me too. There's very few things in life I would be this pathetic for.
Jared and Jensen.
Pittsburgh. What's going on, guys? Good morning. We're still learning. My first time. Just don't touch it. That's a good point. So we landed yesterday. So we are on Vancouver time. So it's what? About 7 o'clock. So we get 5 o'clock wake up, which is nice.
I'm going to be honest with you all. I did not sleep last night.
Me neither.
Why didn't you sleep, Jensen?
Not that I was irresponsible, I was in bed, midnight, which is good for me, considering that that's what? 9?
We filmed till, what, 12?
1 or something the night before. But I just sat there and literally watched the hours roll by on my clock. And it's like that anxiety that builds up like, well, there goes another hour of sleep.
He was waiting for y'all to
There goes another hour of sleep. I got up.
Should have called and been like, Ackles, come on out.
Tried to watch some TV, tried to read, played some games on my phone.
What were you reading?
Was I reading?
Yeah, what were you reading?
Oh, script, news articles, anything.
Anything boring.
Anything that would put me to sleep. His text messages, whatever it was.
My birthday.
Today?
Yeah.
So bear with me today. I've got about 2 hours of solid me, and then we're gonna see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah. Who's
It could get interesting or it could get really boring.
Oh, you know what?
No, I don't know. Who is that?
No, you don't know. Who's from here in Pittsburgh? So I just put something together. Go Pittsburgh, by the way. I love the city. But we're working on episode 6 right now with Nina Lopez, and the last episode she did was the Hitler episode, and Hitler's granddaughter or whatever is from Pittsburgh, the actress. So I'm just like, weird, supernatural, man.
Not weird at all.
So we're trucking along, season 13. We're already in episode 6. We're keeping our fingers crossed for the phone call that it won't be our last season. So keep up the wish us luck. Who's first time? Radical. Welcome, guys and gals. Before we just jibber jabber, let's see if anybody wanted to ask something. Nice fast hand. You're like a gunfighter.
Hello. So Jensen.
Yes.
Last year we had this talk as well.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you remember. Where were you at the concert last night? We wanted you there. You said last year you'd come this time.
Haha, you believe that?
Yeah? I did.
This probably is, kind of goes with the whole theme here. It's hard to fly east and acclimate, and we didn't leave until, we shot very late on Friday night. And so we didn't leave, we didn't get in town until like 7 or something last night.
We haven't eaten in a couple of days.
Oh God.
By choice, but
You really want to admit that?
yeah. Summer was
I was going to
hard.
let that kind of go.
There's a lot of barbecue and a lot of beer in Texas during the summer. So Labor Day hit and we're like,
No, not we. You.
We've been juicing, man. Just like full on juicing.
No,
There's been some,
not that kind of
there's been a lot of cayenne pepper and ginger in our past. It's been tough to walk around. Life is hard. Where's
I'm
my
sorry I was not there.
You made us sad. You were
Yeah,
crying.
I know. Look, you know, to be honest, I blame Rob.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he's
'Cause
like,
he's not
listen, it's not your show, pal. Okay, it's my show. And he, you know, he kind of lets me know when I'm allowed to come and not when I'm not. And he likes Pittsburgh to himself, I'm going to be honest.
Who wouldn't?
So I would blame Rob. All inquiries towards Rob Benedict, please.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yes, the teal turquoise thing.
Is that teal or turquoise?
I don't know.
Good answer.
This is a really lame question,
Love it already.
but I love to draw. It's one of my favorite things. And
Nice.
I was just wondering if either of you like to draw too.
Like to draw?
Yeah, in fact, I draw you two because I really, really love you two.
Do it. Have you drawn us? Can we see it later? Do you have it here? Awesome.
I make a mean stick figure. It's impressive. It really is.
Yeah. I love to draw. I'm very bad at it. And I'm always jealous of people who can draw. I'm happy for you, but like when you go to museums and you see kids sitting down, maybe for college or something, and they're sketching the statues and kind of doing their own little bit, I'm like, jerk, jerk. I wish I could. It seems like it'd be a very cool thing to be able to do. You can do it anywhere, you know. We have a very specific, it's like musicians, I don't want to say artists, because guess what, but drawers and painters.
Sketch artists.
Sketch artists, they can do it anywhere, right? Like, we can't really do our profession anywhere. I'm not gonna walk around acting, you know? Like, here I am in a museum, I'm gonna do some acting, you know? But you can kind of draw on a plane. I'm not gonna act on a plane. I'm not gonna act in an airport. You know what I mean, though, right? Like, you can do what you do anywhere. It's like writers.
I see you in front of like the T-Rex exhibit going, to me? Oh, not to me.
Every time I see somebody drawing, I'll be like, oh yeah? Alas, poor York, I knew him, Horatio.
I went, this was a long time ago when I was still living in LA, and I went to this house party, and I'm not kidding, there was people in the industry, and there were actors acting in the kitchen, doing monologues for one another. Just like you go to like a party and like someone would pick up a guitar and start playing a song, which is acceptable. This is not acceptable.
Not acceptable.
And I don't think I broke stride. I think I literally was like,
This is not where I want to be. Oh my God.
it was awful. I promptly moved out of LA.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't, in fact, that's one of the reasons why I went into the drama elective in high school was because they were like, well, we've got, what is it, band, choir, art, or drama. And I was like, well, I can't sing, I'm not gonna play an instrument, and I certainly can't draw, so I guess I'm gonna go make a fool of myself on stage.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Keep drawing.
But yeah, certainly keep it up. You never know where it's gonna lead.
I'm gonna go way over here. I see way in the back. Out of your seat. Yes, with the two hands. She has two hands.
Most of them do.
I was going to ask Misha this question, but I didn't get
We'll answer it in Misha Farm.
What's
know
your
what this
favorite
is.
childhood memory?
The what?
Favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory?
Yeah.
I had a resurgence of a childhood memory. I won't say it's my favorite, but it's the first thing that came to my mind because my 5-year-old just started kindergarten, and woo, woo. But I can remember my first day of kindergarten, or I think I can. You know, memory is so funny. And so I got to take him to school last week, and I had a flood of emotions and like memory. It was really weird, because you hear like, oh, I uncovered a memory. You're like, you uncovered a memory, but I sort of like uncovered a memory taking him to school, to kindergarten. And I was sitting there, you know, all these like dads and moms that have been doing it, because he started school 2 weeks ago, but I didn't get to take him to school until Tuesday because I was working. So all these dads and moms who probably have older kids, they've already gone through it and just like waiting for the teacher to come out so they can get rid of their kids. I'm sitting there like, Tom, you good? Okay. It was a pretty emotional day, but it was fun. It was fun to see my little boy go to school.
I don't know. I have a lot of good childhood memories. It'd be hard to pick a favorite. I will say one of them was my 6th birthday. I woke up, put on my 6 shooters and my hat like I always did every morning, and my Western vest with a sheriff's star. Every day. Every day. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't all have My Little Ponies, all right? And I walked out and I had breakfast and then looked out on the front lawn and there was my parents had gotten a horse for me to ride. We did not have a big yard. I mean, smaller than this stage probably. So I just rode that thing in a circle for like 3 hours. And it was like one of the happiest moments of my life. And those cap guns were going off left and right. Yeah, that was a good memory. I remember that vividly. Thanks.
Thank you.
How about over here? Yes, right here. Yes. Closest to me. Yeah.
Hey, you've probably been asked this before, but if you could not be actors, what would you do instead? Jensen, I've read that you were into sports medicine before acting. I read something online
I wasn't
about that.
into sports medicine.
Okay. You're considering it or something, but if you couldn't act for whatever reason.
I mean, look, when you're 18 and you're having to pick kind of what your college degree might be in, and that obviously, as some of you probably know, can change directions and when you're in college. I never ended up going to school for that, but that was kind of my original intent, whether or not that would have, I was like something to do with sports, because that's what I was into when I was 18 years old. Yeah, had I gone that route and not become an actor, I don't know. I have no idea what would have ended up. Life's funny like that.
Yeah, so I was going to school for engineering.
But he could have ended up being a doctor. He could have been like, wow, this engineering sucks. I like medicine, you know?
Yeah. I think I'd like to be a teacher or a doctor. Like my brother went to school for engineering and then started doing pre-med, and now he's a surgeon. I probably would have followed in his footsteps. He was my idol, you know? He was an engineer and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. So I was going to school for engineering. I like to think I maybe would have gone into medicine. I like interacting with people, and I don't think a life behind a desk for me would have been, I'm too obnoxious to sit in one place. What? That or a teacher. My mom was a teacher, so that would have been a lot of fun. I think joy, learning together and helping to teach kids, whatever.
I know it would have always been fun to have been a boat captain. I'm serious. Like an actual, like a ship, you know, a boat captain. Because then you just get to go R all the time. Who doesn't love to be a pirate?
So you've already been a cowboy and a pirate this morning. It'd be fun.
Who says you have to grow up?
It's true. It'd be fun to be a wildlife photographer, like out in the jungle or the desert or somewhere else where wildlife is.
I know what I want to be. I want to be a food and drink writer.
Avocado toast?
I'll wolf one of those down if it allows me to like travel to Italy or some, you know.
That's fair.
Avocado toast.
I see 2 hands up in the back. Green shirt. She had 2 hands up. Sorry, I see binary. I'm like a chameleon. One thing goes, 2.
She was offering it to me.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
But I wanted to thank you for coming, first of all.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. But on the show, yeah, I wrote this down.
You sound like you have a southern accent.
Well, I did live in West Virginia for several years.
All right, I'll take it.
And my sister's been there for 30 years, so I do pick it up from her too. But on the show, Sam and Dean have had some dream episodes, And I worked for an office for 15 years, and I still have a tendency to dream about that place. So I was wondering if anything from the set has, and I know Jared, you've talked about your kids being in your dreams. Has anything from the set ever made it into your dreams?
I'm sure. Yeah, I've had many work dreams. Where did you say you worked for?
I just worked for an office.
An office guy.
In here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I've had
And,
a lot of
I know
work
it's a little bit
dreams.
early, but I also have some gummy bears for you.
All right.
Maybe
We'll
it'll give
take
you a
it.
sugar rush.
Thank you.
Jensen, I love you.
I've had work dreams for sure. I think when you spend that much time, 13 years straight for 12-hour days or whatever, I've had a lot of work dreams. I've had dreams with Kim Manners since he's passed, where I'm talking to him, which are always interesting. Yeah, totally.
No.
He calls them nightmares.
Yeah.
If
I
we're
refer to work dreams as nightmares. No, yeah, I'm sure they creep in there every now and again. But you know, it's what we do is probably a little different than working in an office, and you know, being there, like you said, 12 to 14 hours, Monday through Friday. You know, it's not just work; it's our life. You know, we kind of have our on-set life and we have our at-home life, and those blend together kind of seamlessly. And so, yeah, I mean, it's I would say, probably the interesting part about that is do you ever dream as Sam? I mean, sure, you dream about like being late for work or having a nightmare of forgetting your lines or something, which you normally do anyway, but do you ever dream as Sam? Yeah, I don't think I dream as Dean either. There are times in real life when my wife is like, can you please stop using the Dean voice? And then there are times when she's like, can you please use the Dean voice? No. But yeah, so I don't know. I would imagine so. But yeah, I don't dream as as the character. Yeah. Thanks. How about right here?
Hi. I really thought that the alternate universe twist in the last season was like out of left field and
You thought that the alternate universe twist at the end of last season was out of left field?
Yeah, no, and it was really awesome. I didn't expect it. And I was wondering if there was anything in the show that they've done with your characters that you hadn't expected. It was like out of left field and you thought was awesome.
Yeah, there's been a lot of curveballs over the years. I mean, you can name episode French Mistake. Like they had to call us and be like, "Listen, we're gonna can you play you, huh?" Yeah, I've never. That's one of the great things, and that's one of the reasons I think why he and I still love doing what we do is because they do keep it fresh. They do keep kind of twisting it and throwing these crazy ideas at us and kind of seeing what sticks.
I had a big one, which was usually we find these things out either through a phone call or reading the script or reading the outlines, not really face to face with the person who thought of it. But for some reason, I think, so Jen and I moved to Austin season 5, and then season 6, Sarah took over. And for some reason I was in LA for a couple days, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to the office. Sarah, I set up with Sarah to come meet up, welcome her to running the show and this and that. And I sat down, I'm like, hey, so what are you thinking for next year? Any ideas? And she's like, yeah, so Sam's gonna be soulless. And I had to kind of I had to poker face it, because I was like, what the is she talking about? In hindsight, it turned out being like one of my favorite character twists of all time. But in the moment, I wasn't able to hear it on the phone and go like, and I wasn't upset. I wasn't like, oh great. I was just like, I don't know how to do that. Like I've never really, and so it just kind of caught me off guard. So that sticks out in my head just because it was a face-to-face thing. I was like, okay, never ask the writers again about what's coming in the future in person. But in hindsight, again, I loved it. So.
Soulless Sam was awesome.
I liked him. It was fun. Yeah, hope he goes back. Thank you. I'm gonna go back over here, right here. Birthday.
I wanted to know if I can friend?
No.
My friend is a member of the Supernatural family. He's actually on hospice care. He's passing
Oh, no
away
way.
right now, and I wanted to see if I can come and show you a picture of him, and if you guys could keep him in your thoughts and prayers.
Sure. Yeah.
That's not a question.
Sorry. His name is Kenny. He's at home in Ohio.
All right.
And that's me and him a couple years ago for margarita. But he's a big fan of you guys, and I've been asking everybody that I've met, and keeping him in my thoughts and prayers, and he's a big fan. We love him.
All right.
Tell Kenny we said what's up.
Yeah. Send him my love.
Yeah.
You got it. Very good.
Cool.
Well, we love him back.
Thank you.
Yeah, far back.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hey, good.
So my son and I, we do theater. And Gio just had an audition right before he came here. They actually let him go in early and do the audition on Wednesday so that we could leave on Thursday.
Nice.
So I know that you've done some theater, and you did Daniel Paffey for A Few Good Men. Are there any plans for you to return to the stage? And Jared, would you like to do that?
What did you say? What was that first?
Any plans to return to the stage? No plans to right now, but would never say never. Obviously, our dance card's a little full right now, but I was talking to. Well, I can't say 'cause it's a spoiler alert. I was talking to somebody that has come back to the show about theater, and it kind of piqued my interest again about that. So, I don't know whether that's in the near future or far future or future at all, but I would never rule it out for me.
Yeah, I think this, I don't mean this as, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I haven't done theater in a long time. I did theater in school, all through high school and through middle school, and I've done a dozen plays, I loved it. I feel really like theater is, well, it's amazing, and we're supposed to go to New York in 2 weeks.
I loved it.
No,
That was convincing. That was really.
It's scary. It's what I was going to say, and I don't mean this as a dig. I think it's the best training ground possible, because you have to get out in front of people, and you have to be on the ball, and it's also doing the same words over and over again can feel monotonous, and so you have to learn how to find how it's fresh and how it's make it vivacious and bring excitement to people who might have already seen it 3 times or 4 times. Bring something new every night while remaining true to the blocking of the character. So for me, it was a really integral part of my training as an actor. It's scary to do. It feels like if you're stuck in a workout, like seeing a personal trainer, you're like, I don't know, what are they gonna make me do? Like it's gonna be scary, and I'm gonna do squats for 30 minutes or something. So that's a weird analogy, I'm sure. But,
yeah. That's a word for it.
I love theater.
Theater, it's like if you're doing squats for an hour and a half. Somebody throws an extra plate on there, you're like, whoa, didn't see that coming.
Batman never skips leg day. I laughed out loud in the Lego Batman movie where it's like, never skips leg day. Batman. Yeah, theater's awesome. Keep it up, kiddo. Proud of you. Way to go. Right. Glasses. Yes. With the hands. Pointing and smiling.
A lot of hands out there, bud.
A lot of hair flippage. She is, for those who can't see her, she is flipping some hair around. She was like...
Me? Oh, thanks. That's a real compliment coming from you. Okay.
You can say it too.
Okay. So, I'm getting fired for being here today instead of at
What?
work. Yeah. I told my boss, I was like, hey, I bought these tickets like 15 months ago, I can't make it to work, and then she got mad and yelled at me and told me I'm probably gonna get fired. So I was wondering what was the last show you binge watched, because I have a lot of time on my hands now.
Well, first, sorry.
Awesome.
Thank you.
What,
Yeah.
what are you getting fired from?
I'm a lifeguard, so
Okay.
nothing to...
You know
A lot of
what?
dead people.
Weather's changing.
I mean, it's...
Probably not going to be in high demand
I work
soon
in an indoor
anyway.
pool.
Unless you're literally guarding someone's life, and then that's a totally different. Or are you sitting up in a high wooden chair with a whistle around your neck?
Yeah, I work in an indoor
Awesome.
pool, so that's that.
Well, thank you for guarding people's lives, and then thank you for being...
Sure.
The last show I binge watched was similar to the one that I'm about to binge watch, because this guy just binge watched it.
I watched Ozark in a week. which is, I loved it, and I was like, dude, you gotta check this out. Cliff watched it in like 3 days. It's 10 episodes. Great show.
Similar to, so the last one I watched was Breaking Bad, which reminds me of Ozark.
It was like 30 years ago.
I don't have time to watch TV.
Yeah, Ozark, Peaky Blinders is a good one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Or Supernatural.
I've done that a lot.
All right, where are we? Let's see, how about, well, there's too many hands, I can't decipher. All right, yes, the one going like this. Because that works, why, I don't know, but.
I know, right? I did the same thing.
I truly wanted it that bad.
All right, what's up?
So you guys told us that you haven't eaten yet.
We did.
I just kind of had a suggestion for food places.
I don't know if you noticed, when I walked up the stairs, I had like a mouthful of food. It was just goldfish. Because that was sitting right there behind, probably from last night. But it was just like, oh.
Well, there's a place in Pittsburgh called Burgatory.
Purgatory.
Purgatory?
Burgatory.
I like that name.
There's also a milkshake bin or milkshake factory.
Okay, let her talk.
They actually have really good milkshakes there too.
How far away is it?
From here, I'm not sure.
I'll see you in 45 minutes, guys.
Can I go with you?
Purgatory?
We did eat yesterday.
Are there any exits?
Is Benny there?
What do you get when you go to Purgatory?
Usually just a bison burger. Regular bison burger.
It sounds so wonderful.
It's amazing.
Get the works though.
Is it?
Perfect.
It's really good though.
Burgers tonight.
Thanks for the suggestion.
You're welcome.
I'll go over here in the front row.
Yeah, just yell.
Did someone say Sanchez? What did you say? Yeah, Jess? Got it. I heard I heard Sanchez.
Get the Sanchez burger. Hi.
Hi. I was wondering if you prefer unicorns or dragons, and why. Like, I prefer unicorns just because I'm obsessed with them, but what do you like?
I like unicorns because they're not going to kill me and they fart rainbows.
That's a pretty good reason.
You know it's true.
So many comments in my head right now. It's like hard to decipher which one I want to use. Well, I'm gonna go dragons. Yeah, I'm gonna go dragons. Speaking of dragons.
Oh, great.
Anybody watch Game of Thrones?
Well, now I don't have to because you ruined it.
I'm pretty sure anybody who doesn't watch Game of Thrones knows there's dragons involved. Is everybody caught up? Yeah. You say no? Does that mean you don't watch it? You watch it. Earmuffs.
Another one.
Did they? Well, let me just say, did they not? I was watching the season finale this season. I'm like, they totally, but not the season finale, it was the one prior.
The penultimate.
That had to do with the dragon. I'm like, they totally ripped off the scene where Dean turns into a demon. I was like, blatant ripoff.
George R. Smith doesn't even care anymore. He's like, whatever.
Whatever, I don't know. I saw the show on CW. Yeah, that was, I don't know. Dragons are cool.
Thank you.
Even dead ones. All right, that's it. They're telling us to get out of here. Jared, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask?
So many. Thanks, guys.
Why are we here?
Why? Oh.
Like collectively, why are we here?
Existential.
All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. We will see you all later.